Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 680 of the Drunk Nerds podcast. I'm host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
I'll tell you what, man. I'm football. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, after the mass amount of months of waiting, after everything else and stuff, I am doing good because finally football is here. As a recording, the first preseason games have pretty much came and went. I think there may be a few tomorrow as a recording here on Sunday.
I think there's a Sunday night game too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think
But
so.
yeah, it's just one of those times of the year and stuff when gaming starts to kick up in the full gear and stuff. So does the sports. So kind of very excited for football to start and stuff. But other than that, this has been kind of like a more of a rough week for me, only because that work stuff's been fine, this and that, but I got a head cold over the past couple days, and I took today off of work because of it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's pretty much why my voice sounds lower than usual.
He's got
But at the
Barry
same
Manilow
time,
on the
though,
podcast.
Barry Manilow, man. Oh. And what's kind of funny about that, it's like
I meant
when
Barry
like
White.
saying
Barry White.
not Barry
Like,
White, no.
I'm like, wait,
Barry
Manilow.
Manilow. I love how it's like, oh man, you sound like Barry Manilow with that low voice.
He's like, you look so
Jesus
offended. I'm like, was I
Christ.
wrong? I'm like, oh wait, yeah, Barry White. Barry White. Leave me alone. I've been drinking. It's 12:30 in the morning.
I know. I know. You know, it's something that's really funny. It's like I actually sing it as like a bass and stuff like that, and have a range of like a bass of a second tenor. But anyway, useless facts aside and stuff. As far as video games goes, yeah, man, I'm fairly excited about what's coming up over the next few months. Obviously, I'm very excited to try to get try out for Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, plus the Shinobi game comes out fairly soon too, in like the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Those two games are on my radar. It's basically been kind of catch up for me this week, other than dealing with any type of like random cold shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, Tyler, how have you been doing?
I'm doing all right, clanging and banging as always. Yeah, I'm with you, Gables. Obviously, I got the Jordan Love jersey on. I got the Green Bay Packer hat on. I'm excited. We had early access for Madden 26 come out on Thursday. So I've been playing a bunch of that. It definitely is like, I know gaming is different nowadays, like where like games just come out all the time now, but there's still that like part of me like growing up and stuff, like, teenager, and like when I became an adult and actually like started having my own like money, where like Madden coming out was like the kickoff to like video game season. It always came out in like mid-August, and then that was like when all the video games started coming out, like the majority of the games, the big games that come out, before Christmas and stuff. So there's still that part of me where it's like, all right, here we go, gaming season's upon us. And like, I mean, it's still true to a certain extent, like I said, like there's so many games that just come out all the time now, especially indie games and stuff. But yeah, like I bought Mafia: The Old Country. I did buy that. I got a physical copy though, so I got shipped to me, but it didn't come until just a few hours ago. So I've only played like the prologue. So I'll talk about that more next week. I'm really excited for that game though, especially because I heard it's like 10 hours, and it's like, God, like it's so crazy to think that like like how excited to get for like, not only is it like it's $50, the reviews have been pretty solid for it, obviously, which is exciting, but also like, I mean, just hearing the game's 10 hours, I'm like, okay, like a game that's reviewing pretty well and it's only 10 hours, hell yeah. So it's great. Like, man, like we're just so, and it's just so crazy nowadays. Like, we always talk about like the open world aspect of video games. It's like just being excited about, like, it is like a linear game, and it's like, man, like 15 years ago, that like saying something was linear was like a fucking like a curse word, It's like now it's just like there's like a section of audience is like, fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Gables, like I said, it's football season, and I was very annoyed. I want to watch Packers preseason game today. It's Saturday night as of recording this. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch Packers game. I'm so excited for it. It was showing up on the guide on YouTube TV. I'm like, hell yeah. Went to go watch it, blacked out. I'm like, son of a bitch. So Gables
is blacked out in your area?
Is blacked out in my area. I had to watch the goddamn Chiefs and Cardinals game. But
dude,
I'm like, I looked it up though, Gables, and I'm like, oh, hey, I can sign up for the like NFL.com. They have like, it's $70 a month. I'm like, okay, and you can watch all the preseason games I'm like, hell yeah, okay, cool. So I Gables, this is how desperate I am for football. I signed up. I paid the $7 to watch preseason Packers games, and then I go click on it to go watch it. It won't let me watch it because it's an in-market game. But yet it's not in the market. I can't watch it. It's literally impossible. How like this is fucking wild. God damn, I hate the goddamn like how stupid things are with like sports and NFL where it's like, God, it drives me nuts. Like, why do we make this like I pay $500 a year for Sunday ticket and I still can't pick the 4 boxes I want to watch for preseason games. Gables, why can't I 4 box preseason football?
I don't know. Why can't you have 4 boxes?
I don't know, Gables, is bullshit. Oh man, I get so irritated. Like as much as I love football, it's like everything about. I'm like I am like one of like maybe not like top 1%, but as far as like I gotta be like one of the higher tiers for like spending money on football on NFL. I just want to be able to watch goddamn preseason Packers football. Okay, is it that hard? Is that hard to ask for? That's all I want to do. You know, I paid the $7 goddamn. And then I looked it up, Gibbles. I could watch it, but I got to sign up for the $15 fucking tier. And Gibbles, would it just be a simple $8 upgrade to then go from the $7 to the $15 tier? Nay, you have to buy the $15 tier, Gibbles. It's a totally different thing. I'm screaming. I live in an apartment, and it's 12:30 in the morning, so maybe I should stop doing that. Luckily, I don't have. I think I only have one neighbor, so that's good. Yeah, it's a. Anyways, Gables, I'm doing okay. Not too crazy with me. That tells you where I'm at. I was thinking about today, Gables. I'm gonna go to Homemakers tomorrow, and I'm gonna finally, after 6 years of, with the shitty couch, that I paid $500 for the shitty couch love seat combo in 2019. I'm gonna finally upgrade and get like an adult couch. I'm at 36 years of age. I'm looking forward to it. And I was thinking about the movie Old School. With like Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson and stuff like that. And there's that scene where like they're all middle-aged men and like they start hanging out with like college kids. And I can't remember. I gotta watch that movie again. But like there's a scene where like they're at a college party and Will Ferrell's like he's like they offer they want to do like the fucking beer chug thing with like what's that called, the fucking the funnel, they do the beer funnel, and tells you how old it is. I don't remember what it's called now. And he's like, I can't drink. Like me and the wife, we're gonna go to Home Depot tomorrow. We're gonna get some drywall and get some siding. We're gonna do some painting. It's a big day. And like all the kids start making fun of him. And I'm like, I remember like laughing about that as a kid. And now I'm like, I hear that. And I was thinking about that side of it. I'm like, that's a big day. That's good for him. Like that's where I'm at now. Like that's where I am in life, at 36 years of age.
Getting old enough to the extent and stuff where you think that just going to fucking Home Depot for a drywall thing is a big day, dude.
Yeah, that's just a house project. I'm just looking for. I'm going to Homemakers tomorrow. I'm already thinking about it. They have the little cookies in the store and they're pretty good. Get myself a coffee and I'm gonna just go walk around Homemakers and I'm gonna pick out a couch, Gables.
It's like, who knows? I may just meet a wife.
Yeah, Gables. Didn't think about that,
what?
but that's even bigger day. Maybe I'm gonna have to shave before I go.
Got you thinking about that.
I might have to wear a nice shirt now. I put away one of the graphic tees, pull out the nice shirt. Maybe Gables, I bring out the Nintendo GameCube button-up shirt. It's time I gotta go big. Ladies love that, I'm sure, right?
Okay. Well, at least you're gonna be confident about this. That's
at the very least, like the guy looked goofy, but he was confident. He was a confident goof. So, anyways, believe it or not, this is a video game podcast where Gables and I get together every week, talk about video games and everything and love about them. We've been doing this for over 12 years now. We have full-time jobs. We just do this for fun of it. So if you guys want to support us anyway, that'd be fantastic. We are on every podcast service. We are on YouTube. The best way, honestly, to support us is go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, leave the comments, help us out in the algorithm. There's also a membership you can sign up for. It's just 99 cents a month. We don't there's nothing like we give you extra, but it's just a way to say thank you. And then YouTube takes their 30% cut and we get the rest. So if you want to help us out, we'd really appreciate it. But yeah, anyways, like I said, there's links down below in the descriptions, whether you listen to us on podcast or on YouTube, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 5-star reviews, tell your friends, hit the shares. I guess that's important. I don't know. Help us out, please. We really appreciate it. But anyways, Gables, let's get into the news. A little more like last week was a lot of Nintendo topics here. Gables, it's so late and I've been drinking already that instead of just typing in the time code here as I'm talking, I literally just started typing in the time. So that's where we're at. Anyways, Gables, you might take over the show here soon. I haven't even cracked open the third beer yet. So obviously it's 2025. We're old. Time is fleeting. Death is coming for us all. But it is the 40th anniversary of Mario, believe it or not. And obviously the 35th anniversary, we got that like the September Direct. It was also 2020, so it was a weird year. We got that like 3D All-Star Collection thing with Jiggy. Well, now there's some rumors. This guy, let me look up his name again. I wrote down John Skinny.
Okay.
Gables, we gotta talk to these people. Like, if you're gonna become a prominent leaker, I don't know, think of something cooler than John Skinny. Anyways, he's reporting he's apparently got decent like reports in the past. He's leaked some information about the Switch 2 before release. But he is reporting that there is a new Super Mario Brothers collection coming sometime this year for probably Switch and Switch 2 for the 40th anniversary. It will include new Super Mario Brothers, the DS version, new Super Mario Brothers Wii, obviously the Wii version, and new Super Mario Brothers 2, the 3DS version. And those will be coming to the consoles sometime this year to celebrate the 4th anniversary. So, I mean, Gables, first off, believable, and second off, like, do you believe it or not? Second off, excitement level for this.
I do think this is believable because Nintendo did celebrate the 35th anniversary of Mario, even though it was like a COVID year, with the release of Super Mario 3D All Stars. So with that in mind and stuff, I do believe this is plausible because those three games are far enough apart now to where people are starting to get nostalgia for them. So New Super Mario Bros. On DS, that was a 2005 release. What was it? New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I think that was like a few years later on the Wii and stuff. And the New Super Mario Bros. 2, that was a 3DS game that had the whole gimmick of collecting coins that, it was good. And then it was like, okay, maybe at best and stuff in terms of being a standard Mario game.
Not even Mario fans can defend that game. So
I can't though. I mean, I loved the first two New Super Mario Bros. Games. The DS one, because that one was the one that after so many years of 3D Mario stuff, we finally got back to the formula of having another 2D Mario game since like Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. And then like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that was something that was a big hit because it was a co-op thing and stuff. You could play like 4-player Mario side screen stuff and piss off your family while doing it. Mm-hmm. But I would be kind of excited to have something like the Mario collection come out because it's far enough along to where I've actually forgotten a lot about the DS one and also the Wii one. The 3DS one interchange, I can always play that whenever I feel like, but it still is at its core fun to experience these type of games and stuff. My excitement level, I think, would be kind of like in a medium to where I would be happy just to buy it, just to play it and stuff casually and stuff. But if there was something else that was more important that I wanted to buy and play, I probably would do that first, personally. Yeah. If this were like any other bigger Mario games and stuff, like Super Mario Galaxy collections or something like that of 1 and 2, then no doubt in my mind, I would stop everything and I would buy that. Or if it was another franchise of The Legend of Zelda with Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I would buy that in a heartbeat too, because those are two excellent games. But yeah, I do believe this is definitely valid, I feel.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like this is like there was like some frustration obviously with like 3D All-Stars that came out where it was just, like Mario 64 was like kind of a low rent port of 64. It was like not a lot. People were like upset because like they didn't even have like the ability to like invert the camera. And it was like it wasn't even like 16 by 9 or something like that. I remember it was very weird. Obviously like the Galaxy part of that was like the big deal. I'm a little disappointed, I guess, because like I think it would be more exciting for Galaxy 2 to be on here. And it's like it's so weird that like Nintendo like kind of like hides the fact that game ever existed. I remember when they did that whole like little like at the trailer thing, like going through the history of like the Mario games at that direct, the 35th anniversary direct, where they didn't even like they just like cut out Galaxy 2 entirely. It's just this weird alternate history where like Nintendo doesn't want you to know this game existed or something. I don't know. I guess it's like the least amount of effort I guess they could have put in to like realistically do saying they did something for the 4th anniversary. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it's weird like that we like the 35th is like I don't know why we're necessarily needed to celebrate the 35th anniversary, but it was cool they did. And I feel like the 40 is should be a bigger deal than the 35th. Obviously, it's a higher number, but it's a round number, so it's usually those are the bigger deals. But I don't know. I guess part of it is like yeah, like the new Mario for DS that was awesome because yeah, it was like the first time they did like a 2D Mario game, in like what was it like 15 years at that point, so that was a big deal. Um, yeah, but it's just like I mean the new Mario games have been talked to death where it's just like after a while, it's like I think everybody was pretty tired of, it, especially after. I mean, it's like the 3DS version was like the one that was like, all right, this is kind of enough. It's kind of like, all right, this is kind of fucked up now. We don't really want his. And then we got the Wii U one. It's like, all right, no one cares anymore. So I don't know. Like, I, is it believable? Yes. And like, but also it's like it's gonna sell millions of copies. So it's like, are they wrong for doing it? I guess not from a business standpoint.
No.
I don't know. I would just be, I wish there was something more exciting, but I don't really know what it is besides like a new Mario game. And I don't think that's realistically going to happen. So I don't know. I guess all right, cool. It's something, but I do wonder. Like, I'm trying to think of like, is there something like big NSO wise that can give to us that they haven't already? But I don't know. It'd be like even like an offshoot uh, Mario thing. Like I just kind of wish it was like they just made a bigger deal of like Mario 4th anniversary. You know, where it's like I don't know, like drop some NSO games. Maybe do like a fun little side game or something like that. I don't know.
Well, technically, they kind of did with Mario Paint.
Yeah, I guess. But it's weird though, because like I don't know, like hype it up a little bit more, I guess, because like they just kind of dropped it, like shadow dropped it, like
I
on
know.
like a Tuesday night with like no fanfare. They just put a YouTube video up, like I don't know, celebrate it a little bit more, I don't know, then they like what they just announced, like there's that Mario app or something like that's coming, as well. I don't know. It's like they're doing stuff, but it's like I don't know, I feel like I don't know, like hype it up somewhat, do something, do a little bit more with it. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Whatever. I like I said, it's gonna sell millions of copies. So ultimately, like it's a mute point for me to complain about it. And I like I said, there's gonna be people out there that be excited for it, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna like I don't know. I have this is gonna be one of those like collections they're gonna put out, or one of those things like I'm just like I have zero interest in playing through these, and it's just like part of it too is like yeah, like I said, I love that DS game, but it was really cool and novel at the time. And it's like I played, I never played the 3DS one, but I remember like when I bought my 3DS, I bought it with Pokemon X at that point. So like I remember going to like GameStop and I was like, I text my best friend Justin. I'm like, hey, because he bought his like shortly after launch. I'm like, what should I buy with it? And I was like, do I get New Super Mario Brothers or to get 3D Land? And he's like, do not buy Mario Brothers 2. Buy 3D Land. I like honestly, if like it was 3D Land on that the collection, or if just 3D Land, I would buy that in a heartbeat because that game was fucking awesome.
True. Yes, it
And
is.
I would love to play that through again. Like I'd rather play through that one game than any of those three of the new games. So I don't know, but it's like I said, whatever. And I guess it's like cool they can say they did something and maybe like gives me a little hope that maybe there's like a September direct happening actually because
Right.
like I said we're getting closer to like we're practically mid August now. It's like I don't know, like I guess there was that Drag and Drive demo beta thing going on right now, but
Yep.
like it's so weird. Like yeah, we're getting really close to some shit, and nah, we don't have anything going on.
No.
I don't know. It's very weird. But sticking with Nintendo Gables, we had another just surprise direct happening this past week. They just announced out of the blue there was an indie direct. So we talked about last week they had that partner direct that was pretty disappointing, I'd say overall. Then we had an indie one, and it's definitely like the indie worlds are like I talk about all the time. It's very personable. Where like there's been some where like I've like this sucked, and then you've been like I loved it, and vice versa. Where it's just like I bought like 5 games on this whole thing. Anyways, we had it. We had the direct. It was about 15 minutes. The one in Japan was 20 minutes. I actually never looked up what exactly happened there.
Huh.
I meant to do that. Totally spaced it. But Gibbles, we both watched it. What was your overall thoughts on the indie world?
From the indie world itself, it definitely felt better than the partner direct, but only slightly, in my honest opinion. I did like that they did have a couple of release dates for games and stuff that kind of looking forward to. Like Mina the Hollower was one of the ones that was predominantly introduced and stuff. But yeah, other than that, though, I mean, I don't really remember too much about
Okay.
this indie direct, even after watching it. That's other than Mina the Hollower, and maybe there was like another couple of games. But do you have like a list on you?
Yeah,
You
I'll
know?
pull it up here. We have like Media Hollow was kickoff. We already knew the date of the October 31st, but it is coming to. But it is also coming to everything. It's coming to Xbox even.
Oh, okay.
Well Dweller. That is that Metroidvania where you play as like you're falling around a little bird.
Oh, yeah, that one looked kind of fun.
Yeah, so I think that one actually might be a Switch and Steam exclusive.
Hmm.
Neverway is like that farming sim looking game, but it's like more gothic,
Uh,
and like turns more into an adventure game. That's coming in 2026. Hurdlings, that was that game where, like you're like hurting, like it looks like almost like God, what was this fucking like Ice Age fucking creatures. I can't remember.
Mammoths.
Mammoths, yeah. But that's coming to Game Pass as well. It's coming to everything, but it's also
Hmm.
coming to Game Pass on the 21st. Is the Seat Taken? That's that game like you're like people like have like it's almost like what's that cookie Overcooked, but it's like trying to find
Right.
people like proper seatings. That is coming to that is out now. It's on Switch and PC. Content warning. That is coming to Switch next year. That's that like co-op horror game. The content creator horror game. Ball Pit, which is the Devolver Digital game. That is
Mm.
coming October 15th to Switch. And they said sometime in the fall for Switch 2, which is weird. Um, but that's coming to Switch and Steam. Ultimate Sheep Raccoon is that it's like it looks like it's like I don't know if you ever played Ultimate Chicken Horse. That game is actually pretty cool.
Uh,
It's like a short, super short levels, like 2D platformer. The levels are
yeah.
like literally seconds long, but like every time you attempt it, everybody picks an item and you put them somewhere throughout the level. And it's like the first one to complete it, but you're also trying to like fuck over your friends, but while also being able to like to complete the missions. This is like the sequel to that. That game is awesome, by the way.
Hmm.
This is Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, which is the sequel to that. But this one, it's almost like Trials, but you are like it's eight players and it's Trials, and also they said it's gonna be cross-platform, which is really cool. And it's like it's the same idea, but you're on motorcycles. Um,
Huh.
yeah, and then Glaciered is coming. I believe they said this winter. Yeah, winter time, and that's that like underwater like combat looking game. I don't know. It's very weird. UFO 50 Shadow dropped on Switch.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That was the biggest one from that initial
Yeah,
draft of a shadow drop of UFO 50 that was just on Steam only at this point.
yeah. And then Caves of Quad, I believe is how you say that. That's coming sometime this year. That's it's a roguelike. It's like a base over roguelike style game. So yeah, I don't know.
Man, I'll tell you what though, I mean, I didn't think that like the Pardon Direct last week was like that great and stuff like that, but thinking back on this whole indie direct, there were definitely some games revealed there that have me a bit excited. Obviously, UFO 50 dropping on Switch 2 and stuff like that. Shadow dropped. That has me excited to play a little bit of that.
Yeah,
But yeah, seeing more in terms of Mina the Hollower and stuff. But other than that, the other indie games did not hit me at all. Besides that Crow game and stuff, that one looks somewhat interesting. But yeah, it just kind of felt like it was just in the middle,
yeah,
Whereas the part of Direct was just like under my expectations that were incredibly low. This one was just at least a little bit at my expectations of the initial thing. If I had to give it a grade, I'd probably would give this like maybe like I want to give like a C
okay,
possibly, to
yeah,
where I do recognize that there were bits of games that would appeal to like different like with people into those different types of like games and stuff. But personally with me, I see it as something as like, okay, what's going to catch my eye and want to play it immediately? And those two were immediately what caught my eye. The Hollower, that trailer, and the reaffirmation of the release date, and like UFO 50 stealth drop and stuff. But otherwise, like nothing else grasped me about this indie
yeah,
direct.
yeah. I'm kind of with you. Where I think the big stuff out of it, like Mina the Hollower coming to Switch, was like it's cool, but it's like yeah, it's like we were like wasn't really. Like, there's a demo out now, which is it's exciting, but like that's a game I was gonna buy anyways. So it's like It's coming to everything, so it's like it kind of hurts a little. It's kind of like we talked about the partner direct last week, where it was like the big complaint, honestly, of that was like pretty much everything on there was like it was either ports to something that's been out for a while now on some other
Hmm.
platforms, or the new games that were announced are games that are coming to everything. So it wasn't like there's no big exclusive for Switch that like got you excited to play these games. Like cool if you have a Switch and you want to play on there, it's there. But it's like there's you want to play a better version of the game. It's on other platforms. It's like Mina Hollower is like that game's obviously kicked off with that. That's cool. It's coming to Switch. That's like definitely it's like I have a Steam Deck, I have a PS5, I have an Xbox. Like if I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna play it on any of those platforms over Switch 2 probably. Neverway is a game they showed that I can't remember where I seen it before. It might have been another indie world. Like that game looks pretty cool. Like I'm not like into like the farming sim games at all, but like I like kind of the art style of it. I kind of like the more of like the combat stuff part of it too as well. So like that's game I'm definitely like it's been on my Steam wish list for a long time now. Like Is the Seat Taken is a game like I'm probably gonna pick up and play. It looks like just like a fun game, but it's also on Steam as well. But I don't know if it's been on Steam previously, but it was like that was a cool little shadow drop. But it's like I don't know, Ball Pit in their game like looks pretty cool. But like Devolver Digital guys, but it's like I don't know, like that's a game we've already known about too for a while. So yeah, it's just like I don't know, it was just like there wasn't like that big huge thing. But like I said, like I always talk about the indie worlds where it's like I was looking online afterwards. People were like, I've seen a lot of people all over the map where it's like that was awesome. I heard a lot of people was like, okay, like that, no, nothing really grabbed me, but okay. It's like it's almost like I'm excited for the people that are excited for it.
Yes.
It's like I don't, yeah, like I said, there wasn't like a lot of new that grabbed me at all. So, just confirmations that the stuff is coming to Switch, I guess, which is exciting, I guess. But like, yeah, as like a fan wanting the new thing, like honestly, I was like, I was never expecting Silk Song, but I was like, man, I hope they shadow drop Hades 2 1.0 or give us a date for that because that's the biggest thing for me. I'm looking forward to. It's like that's coming to like I already own it on Steam, but I'm like I'm waiting for that thing to just hit 1.0 because like that's when I'm finally gonna dive into it. Like I've just been like waiting forever to buy that. Like just not to buy it, but to play that game. Like I'm not I don't want to do early access, so I was a little disappointed. I guess that wasn't there. But last but not least, Gables. Getting off the Nintendo stories here. Xbox. It was announced that they basically they well so uh, Avalanche Studios did report that the Just Cause team, as the people that make Just Cause, they did announce that they were they were stopping development on Contraband. People don't remember this was like a game that like we never actually got like gameplay for it. It was announced at E3 2021. They had like that. It was like just kind of like almost like in like a shed or a garage, and they're like just kind of like camera zooming around things. It was all like a CG trailer. No, even a tease of what the game was. The only thing we got from them was like they mentioned it was like a co-op open world game set in the 1970s. Um,
Hmm.
so that was pretty much all the information we've gotten, and like it's just every year goes by and never had anything about it. The only stuff we got is like that the game had been in development for about 5 years. They did say they're on hold, so not just like canceled, but Xbox is basically canceling the game. So I think they could potentially like if they found maybe somebody else that wanted to pick up development on it, but like there's not even like necessarily like maybe it's something that like caused this game to be canceled. It's kind of like the situation we had previously where like John Romero's game got canceled and they had to like basically pretty much close the studio down about a month when they laid off like the 9,000 people. Like this is kind of like continuing thing that we see all the time now, where um, like they had all these games they announced like super early in development and like the like beginning of the Xbox Series console, and just another one of those games that got that just got canceled that we never see the light of day. So I don't know. He was like, "What's your hearing all that? What's kind of your thoughts on everything?"
Honestly, at this point, it just follows the same trend of what Microsoft has been doing, and that's just basically cutting off costs and stuff for any type of other like studios that they've had like initial projects with. So with Contraband season production, it doesn't really surprise me in the general grand scheme of things. I mean, even for this whole past year, it's just been one kind of like shutdown or cancellation after another. But it's a shame though. I mean, we had the initial reveal, that CG trailer, nothing ever really materialized for it, just vaporware at this point. So it's kind of hard to like to really. get any more details of it because we only knew so little about it. But at the same point, it's just another case, Microsoft just buttoning up their pants pretty much and like just saving whatever type of like script and change and stuff, even though they are pretty much a
$3 trillion.
multi-billion-dollar company in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things. So yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Avalanche spending all that time not really like panning out in terms of that project.
Yeah. Especially because it's a smaller studio. It's like it's of all time, like it's like the AA kind of like those kind of games have pretty much gone away. And it's like they've been like they were one of the studios that just kind of like survived and like with the Just Cause games, they had a big enough name and sold their copies that team would always keep going. It's just like it sucks now. Like we talk about all the time. Like we're in an era now where it's like, like this game. Like I mean, like just one small thing, and like all of a sudden this like a studio like could be gone. I mean, probably any time there's gonna be layoffs announced, but it's just like it's a continuing thing of like the Xbox thing. Like every time we talk about Xbox, like I don't really understand what the plan is. Like it's just another case of like, I mean, it's been going on for like a decade now of just like cancellation after cancellation of like these third party, like making these deals with like outside studios. Like perfect. I think, but Ninja Gaiden might be one of the very few, very rare maybe one of the first ones I could think of. Since like Quantum Break, maybe where like the game's actually going to come out. I mean, the game's 2 months away, so who knows? They might cancel it. But I don't know. You just think about like what Phantom Dust. What was that fucking dragon game from? Oh
Oh
god,
my god.
you know what I'm talking about, right? It was like shown off at like multiple E3s.
Yeah, it was in like sort of thing with like Hideki Kamiya and stuff was also at the
Yeah, it's the
helm of
Bayonetta
this one as
team.
well.
I'm spacing on the
It
name of the studio.
it kind of looked like a Devil May Cry thing as well in some aspects of it.
Yeah, I
Oh
can't.
man, I forgot the name of it, but at the
Drag.
same point,
It doesn't matter.
what?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just it's just like a long history of it's like like they can't.
Scalebound.
What was it?
Scalebound, I think it
Scalebound.
was.
Yeah, awesome. Good job on that one. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's like I mean, it's just a long history of like you can't. I mean, it's also like when we talk about that era of like the late 2010s and the early 2020s, where it's just like I would complain about all the time. I complain about then, and I'm still complaining now. It's like all these games. It felt like as soon as it was like as soon as they greenlit it in a boardroom before they even created a studio, like even like figured out who's directing it. It's like they were announcing these things before. Like I remember like when Final Fantasy VII Remake was originally announced at 2015 E3. The director of the game found out he was directing the game when they revealed it. Like it's just like shit like that. It's like the like
Wow.
it's like the skates like that game was announced years ago, and it's like there's like literally just two guys at that point. They didn't have a studio yet. It's just like I don't know. We're in this weird era where it's like that straight like now we're starting to see like a lot of those games. Like some of those games obviously we're seeing coming out now and like are coming out in the last year or so. But it's like some of those games like it's like maybe there's like it's a good thing maybe that video games are so secretive about what they announce because it's like so many get canceled. It's like think about like
Oh yeah.
especially nowadays where like there's 5 years spent on a project. It's like man. Like now I'm just worried about those people and that studio being gone. It's just like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, you think about like, they close all these studios down. Hi-Fi Rush, they talk about how successful the game was for them. Studio's gone. They cancel all these like third-party games they make deals for. But then they also close all their, like they create studios and then close them before they put a game out. They buy these studios and then shut them down a couple years later. It's like, I don't know. It's just, it's the ongoing thing of Xbox. It's like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it's like I don't know. It's like it's baffling to me. It's frustrating, and I don't understand it. And like video games is like I think it was Jeff Grubb that said it best. He put on Blue Sky recently, just after they announced the Contraband cancellation. Is like video game companies are not in the business of putting out video games. Like it's like it's like it's like these major companies is like I don't know. It's like they want profits, but they don't want to take risk and they don't want to spend money. So it's like I don't fucking know. Like what the fuck are we doing anymore? No, it's crazy. We live in like maybe one of the best eras ever to be like a player of video games, but also like for like it's the worst era ever to be in the business of making video games.
Yes.
And it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't know. Gables, anything follow up on that?
Honestly, I think part of the reason why I think it's so much of a worse time and stuff for people actually making games and stuff is because the expectations are held so high based upon profits and margins and stuff to where you invest hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions of dollars as a big major company, and then you expect every single release to go above expectations and sell twice the initial thing you put into it. And that type of mindset is not sustainable. It has never been sustainable in terms of a long scheme, like a long duration of time. And it's just something that the AAA games industry needs to nail down at their foundation, that you need smaller projects, you need medium projects, you need these type of things that'll fill the void between these long projects, because if you don't and you spend multitude of millions or billions of dollars on a project and it ends up going like belly up and stuff, or in the case of some other developers or other major like publishers, these type of live service games just all of a sudden just implode in real time and stuff without any type of real things, and you're out all the money, it's like, now what are you doing?
Yeah.
Now we're seeing a lot of the ramifications of that stuff, but it's just that type of generation for us as players where, hey, yeah, we have the most access to any type of video game that we really want to play, regardless of what platform. We don't have to worry too much about exclusivity, unless you're just really into Nintendo first party stuff, then you're just going to go ahead and stick to that probably no matter what.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it's just one of those crazy times and stuff to where, as much as gaming has expanded to a general audience, it's also kind of like shrunk in terms of the whole games industry as a whole, because of how narrow-minded we have business leaders and stuff want to project and try to make hand over fist, like have over fist all of the profit that they can, generally, like a company generally aims for.
Yeah.
So I guess when it comes to the end of all this, it's going to have to take a complete paradigm shift of the games industry to really get back to being sustainable for a lot of developers, small, medium projects, whatever, in order to try to reset itself, in order to have it to where it's plausible and we don't have to worry about a lot of this stuff. But
yeah,
who knows? It's just me kind of like like just doing a little bit of philosophically trying to make sense of all this. But at the same time, with Avalanche and Contraband and stuff, it's just another sad chapter inside of this long, arduous book of the AAA's games industry in the 2020s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just, yeah, I guess like, yeah, try to make sense of it. Like there is just like maybe that's the most frustrating point is like, there's like nothing makes sense. It's like, even when a game does well, like they're still gonna, like, the game comes out and it's commercially successful, or it's like even reviews well, and like it, like, I mean, we talk about like, Hi-Fi Rush is like, maybe the game wasn't like this big multi-million seller that made the company billions of dollars or millions of dollars, but it's like that game felt like the first real like hit for Xbox in like a decade. It's like, oh my god, like this like cool like smaller game was like, oh my god, like this might change, like this is like kind of kicking off the trajectory of like what Xbox, when we thought it was like finally like this cool thing. It was like a year later on my birthday of all things, my game of the year 2023, they closed the studio down. It's like what the fuck, like what's the point, and it's like we talk about like Xbox laying off like 9,000 people last month after they laid off, I mean, they've laid off like 20,000 people this year, and it's like the richest company in the history of mankind. And it's like they laid off people at like all the Call of Duty studios. It's like, if they're not safe, who the fuck is safe? Like
dude, even like the World of Warcraft staff too. A lot of those people were let go most recently too.
It's, I mean, like when we talk about like when like at Rare, where like like the last two developers that have been there, like one of the developers had been there since the beginning, almost 40 years, and the other one had been there since like fucking like the original Donkey Kong Country games, and they're just gone. It's like, I don't know. It's just, it's sad and it's baffling, and it's just like, I don't know. You hear like these smaller studios, like I constantly see all the time, are like announcing they're closing down just because they can't find funding. Like studios that like maybe don't put like these gigantic hits, but like they have, like, you look at the name, it's like, oh, I remember that game. And like, they reviewed well and people liked it, and it's like, they're just gone now. So they can't find funding. It's like their game was like reviewed well, people liked it, but it's like it just didn't sell well enough to get them on to the next game. It's just, I don't know, it's just sad and it's frustrating. It's just like, I just think about like, in 2030s, like what gaming is gonna look like, because so many people like probably just like honestly maybe for the smart move, like just got out of the business of gaming, like to be like in the
Yeah.
like career wise of being in video games, because like at the very least, for a long time, like layoffs is like not an unusual thing for video games, like working at major corporations. But I was like, there's
Right.
always like new companies and new smaller AA developers or AAA companies, stuff like that, always were created by like these people will get laid off or they just like they see massive layoffs, like fuck this, I'm out, and they go off and create their own thing and they build up their own name, build up their own games, and eventually those studios become big things. Like Respawn was that case, It's like I think Respawn might be one of the last big studios to like to do that, like to actually like like hey, we're gonna spin off and do our own thing. They had some success, and obviously like now they're like the one of the probably the most important studios to EA outside of like FIFA and Madden. And it's just like I don't know, it's wild. Like I don't know. Like now those people that are getting laid off nowadays is like there's no one out there to give them the funding really to do that. Like you've seen like I see a lot more Kickstarters for video games now, which is crazy because like that seemed to go away in like like the last like 6-7 years. I feel like now like funding is dried up. Like this might be the next place supposed to go, and like I don't know, maybe that's not the worst idea. Like and I hope people I don't know people like authors get the ability to make cool shit. Because like you look at some of the best games nowadays, like it's like we're football fans. It's like you see like some of the main shit that happens like in football, like the crazy changes in the way football is played. Like that shit starts at the high school level and works its way up to college and eventually works its way up to the NFL. It's the same shit in indie game development where like a lot of the big stuff we see nowadays in video games was shit that like were started by smaller companies and like that worked its way up to like the major companies. So I don't know. It's just it sucks. Tangent over though. It's like I feel like we've like I don't know, we've had like I don't know. It's like the most talked about thing in like video games the last feels like few years now. But Gables, we're gonna jump into what we've been playing, but I gotta pee, so I'm gonna let you kick it off and talk about what we've been playing, buddy.
All right, so there definitely have been a few things I've been playing this past week. There have been a couple different trials I decided to download on my Xbox Series X, and both of them are football related. Obviously, the college football 2026, and oh, it's so funny, listeners. As soon as Tyler goes off to the bathroom, all of a sudden he just starts. I say the college football 2026, and he just comes randomly back. uh, okay, so yeah, I've had a chance to play a bit of that plus Madden 2026 as well, the, over the span of like the past couple of days. And yeah, just giving a bit of the trial stuff a go. I did buy both versions of the game last year. Just wanted to really give a shot and stuff. And yeah, there are some fun improvements in terms of the stuff that I have had noticed. It's just getting to the point, where it's like with some of these sports games and stuff, I don't generally like go hardcore into them unless I really, really like them. Like for example, if I'm like playing like NBA Jam on the Genesis, yeah, I go hardcore into that stuff because it's an arcade style type of like experience. But with simulation sports games, sometimes it's not the case. But pardon me, when it comes to any type of when it comes to this stuff in terms of football, I tend to kind of give it a little bit of like a pass and stuff like that because I love the intricacies of like experimenting with defensive plays or experimenting. Okay, so this is like a 3rd and 2 or something like that. Do I go off and do a handoff or something to my running back in order to try to break through a defender? Or do I decide just to do a complete QB sneak because they've spread their defensive line thin? Just like the intricacies of that. I kind of treat like football video games and stuff as it's kind of like how I would try to dissect like enemies instead of like an RPG or like in some aspects of that, to where they have their strengths, their weaknesses and stuff. Like for example, if I'm playing a game of Madden, especially this one 2026, normally when I select plays and stuff like that, I just do it randomly and stuff, but in terms of one of the improvements, you'll actually have the head coach or something say, "Oh, okay, well, this is the type of thing you should be playing, like you can play and stuff, and this is particularly why because this cover some and something will do this and stuff in order to try to force your opponent to try to do something completely different." And I kind of like those type of changes with Madden 2026. In terms of like looking at the fidelity, it's pretty much kind of like a little bit like improved the visual stuff that I've noticed. Nothing like too extreme. Gameplay stuff is all right. it's kind of like similar to that of like last year's stuff, give or take some like bells and whistles and stuff kind of changed. But I've only spent like a couple hours playing each, and so
Hmm.
far they've been fine. Nothing like bad experience, no major like glitches or anything of that sort. But other than that, yeah, I've just played a few games of each. But other games that I have been playing, I have played a little bit more of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4. I went and I completed all the goals for both 3 and for 4,
Nice.
respectively. And what I said like a number of weeks back in terms of like certain missions being like missing or some of this sort, well, turns out they're not necessarily missing. You just have to complete every single goal inside of each game in order to unlock the pro goals
Gotcha.
for each thing.
Okay.
And so it's basically a game over. It's like pretty much a new game plus in terms of the experience. So now you have to play through the entirety of these levels and both of those games, but instead of there being like 10 tasks, there's like about 5. Like there's like 5 tasks, but each of those 5 tasks for all the different levels have their set kind of difficulty curve to it. So for example, the Foundry, the first stage when it comes to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, it has improved things to where now you have to get over 500,000 points and stuff. You have to collect these small Tony Hawk, like these false Tony Hawk figures. You have to do a kickflip upon like a certain grind thing that you do. And on top of that, you have to collect the combo letters, which means back in the old days and stuff, when you played like Pro Skater 3 or 4, they had these set tasks and stuff called the combo, like the combo goals, which you had to do a line of like a tricks and stuff in order to, and then collect those letters and all in one trick. So getting back to that type of aspect, I wasn't expecting, and I'm kind of glad that I had a chance to experience that because, yeah, it makes it a little bit more varied and makes it a little bit more exciting to go back to previous levels and try to collect certain things or try to execute certain things as well. So for the Foundry, I actually 100% completed the Foundry. So it's like that's all well set and done. But as well, but with the other different levels and stuff, I haven't even gave the pro goals like a shot yet. But let me tell you, even getting to that point to unlock those pro goals, I finally was able to clear out the rest of the stages of the goals that I had, especially with the cruise, especially with like one of the final levels in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I'm not sure this is a new level or not, but they have a pinball level inside this to where you have Tony Hawk that's like basically playing a giant pinball machine and you're inside of it and you're trying
Yeah.
to do like hand plants off like tombstones of names of skaters and stuff, or try to collect the skate letters and stuff across the different levels and all this other stuff. That was rather fun to try to experiment and get all those type of goals going. I will say from the time that I've spent playing this game, it definitely has a lot of nostalgia for 3 and 4, which I do like because I played and enjoyed those games. On top of that, I am liking that there's more meat to the potatoes. You know, there's more meat and potatoes to this than just those settle on the things and all of a sudden you're good and golden. Another thing that I did enjoy was because I decided to play from the get go as a create a character. I almost have my character completely maxed, give or take just one slot or something like that inside the lip trick slot. So my character can do like almost anything that I've really set my mind to, barring any type of game mods or something to do perfect grinds or perfect this or that. But I've been really having a fun time playing this game on not just on Game Pass, but just playing the game in general because it just goes back to the times where I was in high school where I get a couple of games and rent them, play them for a weekend, have some fun with them, then return them back on that Monday or Tuesday and stuff, and completing and blazing through Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Yeah, I did that like a number of years ago and stuff on the PS2. And I think that was like around the last 5 years or so.
Hmm.
And man, it definitely is a fun nostalgia blast. But other than that, though, yeah, that's pretty much what I had been playing for this coming week. But yeah, Tyler, I'm just gonna be back in just a moment. I'm just gonna let you go ahead and talk what you got to go for your games, okay?
Alrighty. Yeah. So I've really only been playing one game as well, and it's the same game Gables talked about, Madden 26. Um, yeah, I've talked about like I'm a huge fan of these games. I've been buying Madden. Pretty much, I think I bought every single one at launch. Oh boy, is it Madden? Sean Alexander was on the cover. Was that Madden 07? I think I bought every single one at launch except since Madden 07. So like early 360 era. So I should tell you, like same thing with the college football games. I've been buying them since NCAA football. So I've had the Boise State quarterback in the cover. So I'm a huge fan of these games. I used to put a lot more time into them back in the day because now I'm 36. But back then I was high school age and younger adult, had a lot less responsibilities and a lot more free time. So I put hundreds of hours into these games every year. I still put I would still put a couple hundred hours every year into Madden. It's always been one of my games that's always just in my kind of in my. I always have there's always I pretty much play it pretty much all year round. Like I always have my main game I'm playing that's always kind of my side game. I think a lot of people have that as well. It's kind of a lot of people they play their main game and they have Fortnite. This is kind of my Fortnite, I guess, in that way. But anyways, I buy the MVP bundle starting last year. I talked about college football already. I've already put I think 50 plus hours in college football in a month, which is crazy for me to do that. But anyways, with Madden 26, obviously it came out on Thursday. If you have if you bought the deluxe edition or if you have the trial thing or whatever. So I think I played 7 or 8 games so far. But I'm a franchise guy. I don't mess with Ultimate Team. That's never my thing. I like Dynasty. I like franchise. Just clean and simple. I'd say gameplay wise, the biggest things that have changed, Gables, you touched upon it, having the coach there to tell you kind of what they're thinking. I do the kind of recommendations and explaining to you what the plays are. I think that's fun. I do one of the main things that changed too, with franchise is I'm happy as a franchise guy, obviously that whole thing that was number one trend on Twitter a few years ago, where it's fixed franchise. After years of not doing anything to it. They've been doing a better job of actually adding things and change to it every year. And I do they kind of change up the coaching tree, the skill tree stuff here, where you can buy things you can or upgrade skills and stuff. So you can have additional slots for you can focus on more players they'll get bonus XP, or you can different play styles that gives you percentage bonuses or makes it so your team might be better at run blocking, or they might be better at inside zone, or your defense will be better on cover 4 or stuff like that. And you can make it more specific to the team you're playing as well, so you can figure out what they're good at, and they'll actually have you'll have a scout kind of tell you hey, these are the things you need to look out for, so you can kind of when you do your when your players do you have practice and stuff, they'll actually they'll focus on that. You can focus on that, so it'll be better off in the next game. So I enjoy that as well. I think gameplay wise, I don't think it's a massive improvement. I think every year this the feeling of being the game just gets better. I think overall from a gameplay standpoint, you can there's a lot of complaints a lot of people have about overall kind of the package of Madden in itself, but I think gameplay wise, it pretty much gets, it's just they just the formula is there. Obviously the game wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't. But I feel they do a better job every year of focusing on things. I feel just being a ball carrier, it just feels a lot smoother and stuff like that. I think overall the way things run is getting better. I do like the fact as a Packers fan, the Lambeau Leap is back, which is cool. So you can do the Lambeau Leap, which used to be that was in there, and they took it out years ago, and they finally brought it back. So that's been pretty fun. I'd say the biggest thing, comparing college football to Madden, I think the one thing they severely lack is just the atmosphere of the stadiums, and that's just true in real life though. College football, I think NFL I like watching NFL more than college, but I think the atmosphere of a college atmosphere is just so much superior than pro, and that is one thing they just cannot compete with. I don't think in college football where man just the crowd and the crowd noise and I think they just when you play college football that it just man I get hyped just the camera shaking and the crowd going nuts when you score a touchdown or a big play happens or something like that. It's just I get chills just doing that in the game, and it's just it gives me chills just when you watch actually watch college football in real life, it's that's the one thing that they cannot match in Madden. But I think overall it's one of those things where like I think if you're gonna buy the game, you're gonna play the game, you're gonna love it, you're gonna like what you're gonna get in this thing. It's just gradual improvements overall, but I wouldn't say there's like anything that's like you got to buy this because of this type of thing. Like it's definitely like
Right.
a lot of people talk about like there's a lot of people I know that, like they buy every other year, and that's definitely the case for like usually like 1 year is like they're like they add a bunch of improvements or they add some new stuff, and then the next year is them like, kind of like fine tuning those, and then the next year they add more. It's almost like it's kind of like like every 2 years, it's like a 2 year cycle. Like first year adding we're doing some weird shit. Next year we're perfecting it. Next year we're adding more new shit. So that's kind of the cycle they're on. I feel like this is the year where like all right, they're more fine tuning things in the game, and it's just like gradually, but it's like I don't know, like if you're gonna buy Madden, you're gonna buy Madden. And I love it. I'm having a great time with it. It's like it's just fun, and like as a Packers fan, it's really exciting too because like they drafted a wide receiver in the first round for the first time since like 2002. So it's like just as a fan of Madden itself, it's always exciting just because like oh my god, we got to like it's like we got a fucking wide receiver in the first round. So it makes it more exciting for me as like a fan playing these games where it's just like I like this first round wide receiver, like this new shiny toy I get to throw to, even though he's wearing number 22, which is kind of an ick to me. But anyways, yeah. So overall, I'm having a great time with it. Like I talked about at the beginning of the show, though, I did buy Mafia: The Old Country. I've been playing that. Like I said, I played the prologue, a little bit of it. I've enjoyed so far what I played of it. But I'm really excited to jump into it and play a bunch more of it. So I'll talk about more next week. But yeah, that is all I've been playing. So Gables, I think that's kind of it for the week. Like I said, top of the show. If you like what we're doing, like the show, please support us any way you can. We are on every podcast service, 5-star review, likes, thumbs up, whatever the hell they got there. Please help us out. Help us out with the algorithm. YouTube is the best place to go to. YouTube.com/DrunkNerds, or just there's a link down below in the description. Subscribe to us on there. Help us out. Get us a little bit closer. We're in the 500s for subscribers. Help us get to like that 1,000 so we can get some ad revenue, I guess. But yeah, or there's a membership as well. It's 99 cents a month. Just go there, support us. Just saying thank you. We got a couple of membership people right now. It'd be great if we had a few more so you can help us out. So that'd be awesome. So yeah, anyways though, I was your host. I was Tyler.
I've been Colonel Gables, so until next time, everyone, play some fun video games, enjoy your life, but thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk-Nerds podcast.
And hey, Gables. Go Pack Go.
Bang Bang Niner Gang.
I don't need to know what kind of pornos you watch, Gables. Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.